Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of my JavaScript tutorial. In this episode I'm gonna be going over the .checked property of JavaScript, what we can do with that and how can we use that. So let's get going. So I am gonna start by creating an H1 heading. This is gonna say select your choices. Okay, then we will create a checkbox so the .checked property can be used for checkboxes and radio buttons. So yeah, I'm gonna first create a label. The for attribute is going to be checkbox, and then accept terms and conditions, for example. Alright. Then we gotta create the button or the input. So the input, the type is gonna be actually no, radio. There we go. No, checkbox. What am I messing around here? Alright. The ID is gonna be checkbox. And yeah, that's it. Then let's add a couple of break tags afterwards. And then let's make a total of 3 radio buttons. So, label for radio 1, option 1. I don't know what these options are for, this is just an example. But you can create whatever you want in here. Let's create input. Type will be radio this time. The ID will be radio 1. And there we go. Then I'm just gonna copy this twice. So yeah. Right now we have option 1, option 2, option 3. Okay, we have one problem though. We can select all of these at the same time. So, how can we fix that? Well, we can fix that by writing in name equals, for example, whatever, options. Alright, then I'm gonna copy this and paste it to all of the other input elements that are going to be in the same group. So now we can only select one of these. So the name attribute is important. Alright. Then I'm gonna create a button. Button on click equals check status. And check outcome. I'm also gonna add a couple of break tags. There we go. Okay. So when we click on the button, do the function check status. And also I'm gonna create a div element. The class will be result and ID will be result. So yeah, there we go. Alright, that's all the HTML that we are going to need. Then we can style this if we want to. Let's say that I'm gonna add an HR horizontal rule after the H1. And well, I want to keep the video short. I'm not gonna be styling these anymore, but the horizontal rule is a pretty good one. Okay, So now we gotta create the function check status. Function check status, and then inside we will get the elements. So checkbox equals document dot get element by ID. The ID that we are getting this time is checkbox. There we go. Then I'm gonna const radio1 equals document get element by ID, and the ID is radio1, and a semicolon. Then I'm gonna copy and paste this 2 times. Radio2, radio3, radio2, radio3. So the ID radio1, okay, I actually gotta change that because I forgot to do that. There we go. So now we are getting these elements inside of the function. Then let's create a variable. Let checkbox status equals the checkbox dot checked. I'm gonna use a ternary operator, add a question mark. If this is true, if the checkbox over here is checked when we check the outcome, we are gonna say checked, otherwise not checked. Alright. Then I'm gonna go ahead and create a radio status equals none at the beginning. Then if radio1 dot checked, we'll do this. Radio status equals option 1 selected. Else if radio2 dot checked, we will say radio status equals option 2 selected. And else, that means that the radio button number 3 is selected, else the radio status will be option 3 selected. Alright. Then I'm gonna display the results. So we gotta go and get document.get element by ID. The ID was result. And I'm gonna access the inner HTML and make it equal to a template literal. Inside of a template literal, we can insert some HTML elements. So, checkbox is, then I'm gonna add a placeholder and the variable checkbox status. The checkbox status comes from here. It's gonna be checked or not checked, true or false. Alright. After this, I'm gonna add a dot, then a break tag, a space, and another placeholder. This time we are inputting the variable radio status and dot. Alright, so let's see if this is actually going to work. Accept terms and conditions. Let's say that we will. And let's select option 1. Alright, checkbox is checked. I could actually change that. Checkbox status. If that's true or checked, we will say you agree to the terms and conditions. Alright. So we create the variable checkbox status, then we see if it's checked, use the ternary operator. If it is checked, this is gonna be the outcome. If it's not checked, this will be the outcome. You don't accept the terms and conditions. Also, if this returns this one, we could say that you cannot continue or select any more buttons, for example option 1, 2 or 3, unless you accept these. We could do that with an if statement, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Anyways, right now let's not accept the terms and conditions, take the option 2. Checkbox is, there's a little problem. I don't need that piece of text. Okay. I'm gonna add another break tag as well. And in the beginning. Okay, now it looks good. So, accept terms and conditions. Let's accept them and select option 1. You agree to the terms and conditions. Option 1 selected. What about option 2? Option 2 selected. And let's get that dot out of there. And option 3 selected. So yeah. What if we don't agree to the terms and conditions, but we select option 1? You don't accept to the terms and conditions, but option 1 is selected. Option 2 is selected. Option 3 is selected. So yeah, that is the dot checked property in JavaScript. So we can use that to see if a checkbox or a radio button is checked. So yeah, a pretty simple project. I hope you were able to learn something new from this one, and I hope that I am going to see you in the next episode or some other video on the channel. Anyways, bye bye everyone, happy learning and have a wonderful day. See you later, bye bye.